little bit slow tonight, but then it really picked up. And honestly, there are so many good acts that I'm getting pretty nervous for my faves because I'm worried they may not make it through. Hey guys, and welcome back to Kelly TV. So we started off with Heart Dance Team, and I always thought they were cool before with their camouflage outfits and their props, and they were good again, but I felt like it was just too similar to what they've done in the past, and I just wasn't like, wow, this is amazing. You know, I just wasn't amazed, and it seemed like Howard and Heidi felt the same way. They just weren't blown away by them, and I do think they're talented. I don't think they're going to make it through after this round. So Luke Rollins, also a super cool guy. I've said before, not really into the Western acts, but I really appreciate what he does. Again, I felt like we were seeing some of the same stuff, the fire and the, you know, lassoing and stuff like that. And maybe that's pretty much his whole act. But again, I'm underwhelmed with it. Although I think that he's awesome, I would not pay to see him. So, you know, Howard said that it could get old, but if he just had like a 15-minute set, then maybe it would be okay. John and Andrew brought it tonight. I mean, I was impressed with them from the beginning, but the stuff they were doing was incredibly difficult. I was just totally mesmerized by it. I don't care that they're two guys. Like, whoever's doing that dance is amazing. You just put aside that it's kind of strange, because if it was like two women, it would be kind of weird. But I'm looking at the talent here, and the talent to me was phenomenal. They were awesome, and I hope that they get through. Just hope. I'm not sure, because there's so much competition. But Mel said that she didn't really like them. She said they were worse than last time, which I don't know where she's getting that, but the other judges loved them. Wow. Sadly, in my very bottom spot of the night was Livy, Matt, and Sammy, who I wasn't super crazy about before. I thought they were just okay. They were so weak tonight. First of all, gotta tell you, I don't like the song they sang. The Queen song, not a fan of that anyway. And then for them to make it all slow and strange was just terrible. They just were so boring. Honestly, they could put me to sleep. And no one else liked them either. Gosh, that's terrible to say, but the judges really raked them over the coals, and that's pretty much the most stern I've heard them be with anyone in the quarterfinals so far. So sadly, I think we're all on the same page here. Andre is awesome, but I'm a big fan of Christian. You'll remember Christian had the dog during Judgment Week, so it's hard for me to be like a super Andre fan, but I think that he is definitely super strong and super talented. He's just not in the top for me, and you're going to be surprised by someone who is in my top 5, and we'll talk about that at the very end of this. But you know, the judges loved him, and I could see him moving on, but since I love Christian so much, it's hard for me because they're similar, but I think Christian has an edge. Alright, Juan Carlos. Obviously, the dude is not the best rollerblader in the world. Really not much talent here, but it's just that his act is really almost like a comedy act. And before tonight, I've pretty much thought he was terrible, and I don't like when he's on at all. But the production value of his performance tonight with his face making all the different poses, the song was perfect, Vogue, the dancers with the mustaches, even though we're not supposed to be judging them, but the total package here made me laugh. And I know people are gonna hate on me for saying this, but I thought it was funny. And after all those acts that we had before him, which were kind of like putting me to sleep, he was like refreshing to me. And it's just so terrible. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he is talented at what he's doing here, but it's so terrible that that is the act. That it's almost like a Saturday Night Live skit. Like, it's like you're almost trying to be that bad, therefore it's funny. So Howard hated it so much, he, you know, pushed the button to give him an X. Howie thinks he's funny. Of course, Howie likes everyone, but guys, I think that he's gonna get votes to make it through. I'm just gonna have to call it right now. Mara Justine, I've always thought, has a good voice, and I thought that the very first time we heard from her when she sang And I Am Telling You, I thought she was phenomenal. I thought the next performance wasn't as good, and I thought tonight's was less good than the other one. I understand that she's trying to be showy by doing these songs that adults sing, so tonight she did a Katy Perry song. And the bad thing about this is that it's over her head, and she started out really weak, and it's so hard to recover when you start out so weak. That was just too low for her. Didn't sound good. She did pick it up. It did get better, and I do like the girl and wish her well, but I don't think that she's going to make it. I think this is going to be it for her. So aerial animation, you have to give Abby mad props because she's just so super talented. The fact that she draws all this stuff, she's, you know, doing all the choreography, plus she's up in the air doing this. I mean, it's just like multi-talents that is just like off the chain. I mean, it's crazy and unique. I think it's really good. I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about her. The judges loved her. Over in Beamly, which is a free chat room, which is actually the official chat room of America's Got Talent, everyone raved about her. And if you haven't joined Beamly, let me tell you, that is where the party is at Tuesday and Wednesday nights when America's Got Talent is on. Basically, you just go to the NBC page into the chat room, but I'm going to put the link down below to make it easy for you. And like I said, it's free, so if you haven't signed up, what are you waiting for? Anyway, I definitely think for sure that she will make it through. If she doesn't to the next round, then I will be totally, totally shocked. Jacob Curley, thank you, so sweet. Love him, love his backstory, even though we're not supposed to judge or vote based on that. His performance was so weak for me tonight, so stale. Howard said it best. He said this just wasn't passionate. The judges were underwhelmed. Howie loved him because he's loved everyone, but I like him as a person for sure. I don't think he's going to make it through. It was so weak and just nothing memorable, and I totally hate that for him because I like him, and it makes me kind of sad. So I'm just going to have to put it out there and go ahead and tell ya that Matt Franco was phenomenal tonight. Now, I really liked him the first time we saw him. I thought he was awesome. But this time he was like pulling out all the stops. I mean, it was like the performance of the lifetime for him. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love how he made it seem like he messed up, so we thought he messed up, and then he corrected it because that was part of the act. And how did he get a card in Howie's pocket? I have no clue. That's why I think he's awesome. And I was so excited to see his sweet grandma on the video, the introduction video, and I just want to say hello to Matt's grandma because I have heard that you are a fan of my videos, so if you're watching, I really appreciate that. And your grandson is totally awesome. I can see why you love him. I think Matt is a big contender here. I'm talking top 5 of the whole show. And you guys know how much I like Smoothini. Smoothini, better watch it because Matt Franco is coming for you. Derek, following Matt, we had Derek. It's just like serendipity because I love Derek Santos so much, and I was concerned when I was over talking to Beamly tonight because a lot of people just don't get Derek, and I was over there raving about him, and I felt like everyone else would be like, are you crazy? He's not funny, but so many people loved Derek and Beamly, which I'm thinking that's a great sign because that means people are going to vote for him. I mean, yeah, he's weird and awkward, but I love it, and his jokes, he makes me laugh, and I can't believe that Mel and Heidi didn't laugh at all because I laughed through the whole thing. Like the Howard Stern joke, how can you not think that's funny? I mean, that is his style. He's not supposed to be telling like the world's funniest jokes. They're like elementary jokes, but they're hilarious. I love him, and I'm so sad if it's going to be the last time that I see him, so please vote him through, America. So we ended with an act, which is actually called an act, Act 2, which kind of has left me perplexed because I think these two women who are opera singers have the most incredible talent, but I'm not really sure if they pulled it off tonight with this song that turned into Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. I don't know, I felt really weird about it. I saw some people saying they thought it was terrible. I would not go that far, but I wasn't like in love with it like some of the judges were. I think that's going to hurt their chances of being put through to the next round. But I don't know, I think they took a risk. I think they wanted to do a familiar song because, you know, opera, not everyone really knows that and they don't understand the words, so they want to do something in English, and I totally get that. I'm just not sure if it's going to work or not. I will be so interested to see how that pans out. So I'm going to give you my top 5 of the second quarterfinals, and I'm going to give them to you in order. So let's start with number 1. You already know this by now. Matt Franco, definitely far and away my number 1 for the night. I would be totally shocked if he doesn't make it through to the next round. Number 2, Aerial Animation. Super unique, super creative. Be shocked as well if that doesn't make it through. Number 3, this one I'm kind of worried about, is Derek Santos. I'm a little concerned about him making it through because some people just don't get that kind of humor. But come on, if you want to be my lover, I can't even deliver it like him. He's just so funny. Anyway, number 4, John and Andrew. I thought they were spectacular tonight. And number 5 is my personal wild card because it comes with a caveat because I don't think this person is uber talented, but I do think America is going to vote him through, and that is Juan Carlos, because people love to laugh and people love silly, crazy things, and I see him going through, and I know some people are going to totally freak out. And inside, I'm kind of freaking out if he makes it through. And I'm kind of freaking out at myself for saying that he's in my top 5, but I'll get back to you on that. So I want to know, who is your top 5? Who did you love? Who did you hate? Who do you think that I'm crazy for liking or crazy for disliking? I want to hear it. Just be nice about it, okay? So thank you again for watching this episode of Kelly TV, and I will see you.